Hi, I'm Chris Hudson. I'm the Group Microbiology Technical Manager for Eurofins UK and Ireland. Today I'm going to be talking about animal byproduct testing and how Eurofins can help you with your testing requirements in this area. So what are animal byproducts? Well, animal byproducts are any animal product that is derived from an animal. So that could include fallen stock, it could include animals as diverse as dead zoo pets or pets. It could be any animal products, so think of things like wool or blood products or eggs. Think of used vegetable oils that have had animal products in them when they were cooked. So a very diverse range of products. Now, because of the size and range of products, we can actually split animal byproducts down to three different categories. The category 1 is the highest risk item, so this would include special risk materials. So these are things like brains or spinal cord materials, and they could include diseases like BSE or foot and mouth disease. If we move down to category 2 animal byproducts, these are still high risk products, but they're not necessarily diseased, and again these would be normally either rendered or incinerated, but some of these products could be turned into manure or composts. The least risk material is called category 3 material. Now this would include animal products that could go into pet feeds or animal feeding stuffs. So why do we need to test animal byproducts? Well, there's 4 main reasons for this. The first main reason is to manage the risk that we've already talked about. The second reason is to safeguard trade. Third reason is to provide consumer confidence, and lastly there are actually 2 European Union regulations that tell us that we need to do this and exactly how we need to do it. If we look into the European regulations and we look at the different categories that we've talked about of animal byproducts, we can then understand how each category needs to be managed in the chain. Category 1 materials that are the highest risk that we've discussed, they need to be either incinerated or rendered. As we move down through the categories, we can apply less treatments to them, such that category 3 material that could be turned into animal feeding stuffs and pet feeds has probably the least amount of processing. Nevertheless, because of the risk of anything entering back into the food chain, we need to ensure that these products have been tested and they satisfy the microbiological criteria as laid out in the regulations. So what specific testing will you require? Well, basically we can break this down into 3 areas. If you're a rendering plant, so that would include pet feeds and blood banks, you will need Salmonella and Enterobacteriaceae, and this actually covers off the vast majority of people requiring animal byproduct testing. A growing area market is actually in composts and manures, biogas plants, and this is slightly different testing, again covered by Eurofins. So here you would require Salmonella and E. coli. And lastly, the test that most people don't actually include in their schedule of accreditation is Clostridium perfringens. Again, this is required for people that are starting a new processing facility for the first time. So what do you do if you want some animal byproducts testing? Well, it used to be simple. You could go onto the DEFRA website and look at an approved list of laboratories, but unfortunately that no longer exists. Now you need to go onto the UKAS website. So UKAS are the United Kingdom Accreditation Service, and they manage the accreditation of DEFRA approved laboratories in the United Kingdom. The website will give you a list of approved laboratories which you can then scroll through and select. Should you select Eurofins, then we will be able to provide you with technical advice on what test to use, and we will look after all aspects of the reporting to include the statutory reporting that is required in law on fails and any zoonoses that we may find in your products. Rest assured, Eurofins are accredited for the full remit of the testing, so we can include the Salmonella and the Enteros on the majority of animal byproducts, but we can also do Clostridium perfringens, and we can do the E. coli on the composts and the manure products. So all in all, Eurofins is a one-stop shop.